Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Extraordinaire Art Studio Gallery. And I have leftover paints. Well, not really much in there unless I want to squeeze something in there. And I do that often. It's my tequila hat, thank you Michelle. And yesterday late afternoon's leftover colors, which I am going to probably infuse with some white metallic that I just made up. There we go, from Anita's. I'm not sure I shook it well enough, so I'm going to do that now. Make sure. I do that about 30 times. Let's just give it some of that. And what else? I wanted some gold, which didn't squeeze in very far. And then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of black enamel acrylic. And I think all those things ought to make for an interesting composition once they get going. I am going to start with whatever I feel like. I just gave myself a bunch of that, so let's just do that. Some white metallic and some black, which is just Artist Loft and Walmart. And why am I being called to green? Maybe turquoise will do me. Alright, so whatever it is, I can do all kinds of stuff to it, including use my balloon that's been hanging around. That looks like a hair right there, right now. Okay, looks can be deceiving, I guess. And I am going to carefully take my overly full cupcake container. I'm going to put all of that in there. And I see there was orange in there, so that could be dangerous. I'm going to let that drain down a little bit. I have been enjoying these very much because cells are just naturally produced when, not only when paint is agitated by being stretched, but when you combine it and you're moving it around to add it. And like I said, whatever else I might want. Let me be irreverent and add a little more gold. You know what? That's very thick. So I'm going to throw a little bit of Modern Masters. Whatever color that is. That looks like copper but is called something else. It's very copper. There's a lot of people using a lot of copper right now, and that's okay because copper is cool. And never use enough red. I've got some paintings that ought to be coming up where I use more red. It'll be red metallic, I can tell you that now. So I'm going to let that drain in that little cupcake container. And then move some paints out of the way. This is strictly accidental, and I'll be as surprised as you will by whatever we see. But I like that swirling pattern that I make with my funnel cores. It does not mean that I won't decide to manipulate this by agitating it in any number of ways, including chain, because all that is handy right now. Let me just put this right down. That's a weird shape. I'm going to do what I've been training myself to do, which is to start by releasing the bubbles caught in the paint. I didn't always do that. I don't necessarily always think it needs to be done, but a lot of times when you are using the warmth of the torch to release the bubbles, you are also letting cells show up, which is kind of a nice thing. You know what? I've got glasses. Ha! And I should use them. Oh yes, much more interesting. So I'm going to let that wave of paint move toward the edge. We have some really cool cells happening here. That Anita's white metallic is virtually disappearing, which is kind of different than what I was expecting. I don't know why I would be expecting anything, to tell you the truth, though. But I'm really glad I put that the gold and the orange that's an iridescent orange from Modern Masters in that last little bit, because that's what we're seeing on top. I'm holding my canvas just so, and I see a nice wave of paint rolling down. And I've got beautiful colors. They're kind of subtle. I think that might be part of the result of leaving it sit overnight. I don't see any of that pink neon that I saw there when I started. It's very agate-y. I'm really inclined to do something that I used to do. I've got this, I'm almost out of this, color shifting orange from Floetrol. I'm going to put a little bit of black metallic, black enamel. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I figure I might as well do it. Anything that, I haven't cleared my bottles today, so anything that doesn't open I'm not going to use right at the moment, obviously. That's a dioxazine purple. I need more paint in my opinion, so I'm just giving myself a puddle over here because I know when I use my edge catcher, paint will mix, and the paint I just put down will also pull along the rest of the paint. Now, I don't have to necessarily put it down. I could have taken it right off. Since I don't have paint all the way to the edges, it's kind of an interesting idea. It means I can hold onto the canvas in a few other places. Now, if I take a puddle of paint right here, and I like that puddle of paint, it's a little bit of a juggle, but I can then also put it right back on the canvas into the composition. I can also take paint and continue to take it off and move it down. I know it's juggling and it may or may not work, but all of this is in preparation for me to give myself permission to use the balloon or the chain or even a basting brush should I so desire to. So sometimes I like to pour the paint down and then roll it, like when I do my scapes, all the way down the edge, and then push it back in, making some different areas. Now it's going to get tricky because I don't have any more clean canvas to hold on to. So I'm going to try, first I'm going to take that off of there, then I'm going to use my thumbnail. I'm going to watch all of this go across and down. And every bit of this is iffy just because it was those leftover paints from last night. That doesn't mean that it's not a good base to do something else. And if it's not absolutely fantastic to begin with, that's okay, because that's just a stage. And we might get someplace we really want to be by having this be the background. This is harder to scrape off at this stage. Now I've got paint on my edge catcher, obviously, and as long as it's not too overly brown, it will definitely be usable. And even if it was, and if I put it along the edges, it will pull the other colorful paint down over the edges, which is what I really desire anyway. Just going to drop that right on there with a spatula and have a look at what I've got. I'm going to use that spatula to cover that edge, have a quick check. So that's not really what I would describe as beautiful. Now I have to figure out what I might want to do to that. And I am going to use my Lola-Fee silicone mat to wipe my spatula off so I've got that paint for later. I'm going to torch one more time quickly. See if we make some cells. It's growing on me. I'm liking it more. There's some really cool stuff going on in there. I'm extremely tempted to do totally odd things. Like what? How much time do we have left? I got time. So I'm going to give myself some neon purple that's a multi-surface acrylic from Deco-Art. and some turquoise stuff I just really want to see there. And maybe some of this purple flash also. All these colors solve my problems with, and I'm going to do some of this. That is the Modern Masters Venetian Blue, which is looking really odd these days, but I don't care. And a little more color shift turquoise from Folk-Art. And some of that white from Anita's. Go for half of that and see what happens. Because I've tipped most of the rest of the painting, this ought to be able something I can move around. I need another container. There we go. See, we've got cool cells there now. Oh, we've got a big mess too. What do I do with that? I use my spatula to get it right off. Okay, so that's what's on the canvas. So I made a mess. It's definitely a messy sport. And while I was cleaning up, I made some more interesting shapes. Makes me think I want some black in there. But I'm really liking the additional area a lot. And I'm going to grab some cottage cheese container lids, which is what I like to hold my canvas off the. And I like that so much better already, I can't even tell you. I see there's a little mark up there. It doesn't need to be there. What else will I do? I want gold and I want black. But I think I want to do one more tipping here. To move that funnel pour that I just added. And everything else is moving a little bit, but it's not really hurting my feelings any. Yes, I love that lighter area we just added, and I really am not minding that either. That's really dramatic. So let me grab this again. So I've got the purple in here, and what I wanted was the black. Do I really want black? I really do want black. So, what did I want with the black? Maybe some more white? Okay. We won't even mix that around. Well, maybe we will. What else? What else? So, no. I want something else. I don't need anything else. Convince yourself. I'm going to put some of that blue in there again. Because I can. Take my little... This time, I'm going to do something I've never done before because I can. Hey, that's the name of my first book on the Amazon link. Under the Linktree link, which is the first blue link under the video. I'm going to stuff that skewer in there a couple times. I don't think I cleaned up my workspace very well last night. I don't really want to use all of that right there. What will I do about that? I will grab... And where else? Alright, I'm just going to let that drain. Still a little more paint left, but that's okay. I'm liking my composition better. Except for that little tail. I never like those little tails. They always look so darn accidental to me. So, let's hit it with the torch. Release any bubbles. Oh, there's another one there. And since I want some of this to be very evident, I'm just going to put some right in here. Because that often makes me very happy. For no other reason than I love that color. And if I gently prod it about without overworking it with my magical skewer, I get some organic looking marks. And unless you tell somebody, they won't know that that wasn't part of the original process, but honestly, who cares? So that's actually really neat now, and I like it a lot, and I wish I had, yes, there we go. I like all this black. That was Floetrol. I have no idea why that would come out like that. But I like how the eye is moving around. There. I think that might be enough. And I still have these dollops over here. What am I going to do with those? I am going to I'm not going to do much of that because I think that's pretty cool without doing much of anything. But I do know that the balloon could agitate some things, and what I really want to do is put some white on there. Actually, more than that, I want to put a little bit of white and a little bit of that purple. Zingy. More zingy. I'm not used to wiping paint off. I'm going to scrape that all off and put it in a dish and use it for something else in a minute. So yeah, I like to put my paint right on my balloon. That's my thing. And I think I'm pretty well done. And that means it's time for me to tell you whatever I should tell you, which always escapes me at this point. Yep, there we go, there's the timer. So I do sell my artwork, and the link to contact me is my email address. It's right underneath the video, underneath the link tree. The link tree has Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links. It has Facebook groups. Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciation is a students group, and you can find the video there every day. Most days. There's bound to be someday I can't comply with that, but this is not it. Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Totes and More is a good place to find whatever I have used my artwork on, including masks, t-shirts, baby onesies, shower curtains, duvet covers, you name it. There's a Shop Now button. It's the same place as Fine Art America and Pixels.com, and so there's all kinds of cool stuff to find there. I really just want to stick that in and drag that little black line right down there. Don't ask me why. Because there's plenty of paint, it'll heal itself. So what else? Thank you for liking my videos, and the thumbs up is really appreciated. If you watch my videos when the notifications come out, if you're subscribed, you help me tremendously. If you watch them longer, that's as much or more help. If you share them, that's a huge assistance. I really appreciate that. If you shop the Teespring clothing under the video, there's all kinds of awesome stuff there, including all over print leggings and all over print t-shirts. And I want some more white right there. Yes. I'm happy with that. Cool. So I love you guys. There's almost 90,000 of you. Yay. Check out my Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter links under the Linktree link also. And ask me questions if you need to. Look for my paint pouring recipe under the description under the video. If you shop my Amazon link at no added cost to you, it helps me out. And you can find both of my books there called Volume 1 and Volume 2. First one is Because I Can. The second one is Unlimited Possibilities. And look for the exhibition video on the end screens of any video, and it will share with you whatever that month's prizes are for the monthly drawing. And the monthly drawing is in the fourth week of August or the end of any month. And if you are a contributor to PayPal or Patreon to help support the studio and the creation of videos, you will be automatically entered in the drawing. And I love you guys so much. I can't even hardly tell you. I hope to see you tomorrow, and look, like I said, on Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciation Group for the video that's going to play. Sometimes late at night I give notifications to. I've been doing a lot of slideshows lately, so check out my playlists. There's over 1,500 videos on my playlist. I don't have a single spiral in there. That just seems wrong. Okay. One thing leads to another. I really can't stop myself once I start. I don't think anything else is going to help that out. So I love you guys. Take care for now. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye for now. Hope to see you soon. I'm going to try and zoom in if you're not gone yet. There we go. I'll see you anon. Priscilla out.